Hello and welcome to this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Views with Hughes. That's Hughes. You can also check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. Please rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. And you can also comment over on Libsyn. With all that being said, thank you for downloading this episode, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Good evening. Welcome to Park Views with Brad Hughes. You have a different kind of host for the evening. It's Holly here, and I have a special guest, so to speak, I suppose. Bradley, welcome back from Batuu.
Man, I got some stuff to say.
You do?
I do.
You came home with the biggest smile on your face that I think I've ever seen, on top of any visit to Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, which we don't really like. You came home and I asked you how your visit was, and you were just kind of like, wow.
I still feel like I'm in a daze. Like a good
daze?
Yes, it almost feels like a positive PTSD.
Okay.
Where like I'm just like, and then there was Ronto's Roasters. Like,
are you kind of at the point where you're like, I need to go back?
I'm
kind of like
to go
we
back.
can go to Pandora, get what is the little thing that we like, the lumpia, the little pineapple egg roll, and we can go back and get one tomorrow. But you can't now. Are you kind of at that point?
I mean, when I got home and I was like, how much are flights for next week? That should have been a pretty telling sign. So
we have a reservation for June 7th. We're trying to make it happen. Flights are a little aggressive.
I'm not kidding. I would work 6 hours.
6 hours.
I was going to say 7 days a week. My brain is fried. I would literally work 7 days a week for the next 3 months to go for 4 more hours to Batuu.
So we're trying to perhaps go on June 7th. That is next weekend. But worst case scenario, we're looking to go in September because we want to tie in a couple other things as well as Batuu, Knott's Scary Farm, which Theme Park Duo was just telling us how fantastic that was compared to Halloween Horror Nights, which you are a huge fan of.
I love Horror Nights.
It's growing on me. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat.
Let's talk about what this episode is a little bit. I wanted you to introduce yourself on this episode first, because what you are doing is you are going to interview me about Galaxy's Edge. This should tell you something about how much I enjoyed myself on Batuu. I just did 2.5 hours with Gabe from Theme Park Duo. It was actually closer to 3 because we talked for a little bit before recording. My time slot
was for like 10 and it's now 11:15.
And then I did 30 to 40 minutes with Matt Parrish from Web Radio and covered the exact same topic.
Is it going to bother you to talk about the same things over again? No?
No. I can't wait.
Okay. Bradley FaceTimed me the second he walked into Batuu, and it was like a kid in a candy shop for the very first time. I have never been so... Like, just seeing your reaction was worth sitting on FaceTime with you for those couple minutes before when you're like, all right, they're letting us in.
I was anxious, though. Like,
the fact that you had me crying in Orlando.
Did I really? I didn't know that.
Yes. There's a reason I had sunglasses on.
I don't remember the first minute or two of being in there because I was just so overwhelmed.
It's real. How weird is that?
It's so
5
strange.
years in the making, 6 years in the making.
It's so strange. Like, they announced it at D23 like a while ago,
and before you and I knew one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember like all the rumor and speculation throughout the theme park community about like Disney's going to do a Star Wars land. Like, what does that mean? And in my brain, it was going to be like they were going to do like a fantasy land kind of thing where like you go in and there's like pretty cool ride, and then there's probably like an X-wing spinner. Like that was where my brain thought it was going to go.
Did Disney to do a Star Wars land?
Oh yeah, I talked to. What is he barking at us for? Hey,
I don't know.
Knock it off.
Our dog barks when he's hungry, and apparently
eat. There's
dish
your
of food
right
is not
there.
enough.
Eat, stupid. What are you doing?
Babe, we don't have anything to leave it on the shelf.
No, this was as I said in my article, because this is the first podcast I think I can talk about this. I'm writing for Inside the Magic, which is really exciting. I love Kurt. He's the owner of Inside the Magic now, who got it from Ricky Briganti when he purchased from him a few years ago. Writing Star Wars content for them. So, like in that article I wrote, it was 2012, and I got a text message from my dad that said, dude, Disney just bought Lucasfilm and they're doing episode 7. And I remember responding to my dad, go, what if they did a Star Wars themed land or like a Star Wars land at Disney World?
Did you think they
And
would?
he goes,
take
my dad
it
goes,
this
we'll see.
far?
No, I didn't think it was possible to take it this far. Like that, it's that quote that it's always kind of fun to do the impossible. It's the only time this has ever applied.
Impossible.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, like it's literally insane.
But also, you and I have been to Galactic Nights. What was it, 2018 and 2017?
That makes that like all this other stuff that they've done, like Launch Bay and all this other stuff.
Not get you amped for it.
It got me amped for it, but like when you go like now me thinking about riding Star Tours now or like going to Launch Bay is a joke. Like that's not it's a science fair project.
Star Tours kind of like meh. Now that you've been to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, like once you've piloted the Falcon, what else is there?
Yeah, that's kind of the creme de la creme. Huh?
Rise of the Resistance will be better, but
was the Falcon better than you expected? Because I know you and I both kind of make fun of.
Is this the interview? Is this started already?
Kind of, sorta. I mean, we're both.
Do you want to structure this a little?
We're Disney pass holders and Universal pass holders, and you always make fun of Universal for being the screen park.
Yeah.
Fair?
100%. They are the screen park.
Did Millennium Falcon, did you have low hopes for it? Did it exceed your expectations? Or
I don't know. It kind of met.
Okay.
I don't think it exceeded it. But then again, like when I say my expectations, I didn't go in thinking like, oh, this is going to be the teacups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I went into this going like, this is going to be, I think it's a strong D ticket. I don't think it's quite E-ticket. I think they think it's an E-ticket because of how they designed the Falcon out front, but that's just a facade.
What would make it E-ticket?
Longer would be great.
It was short?
I mean, it's not super short, but like, you're going to be waiting in line for hours.
The better you do on the mission, the longer it is. Is that true?
I don't know. I've done it 4 times, and every time I got to do a different role. So the first time I was a pilot when me and Sam from Expedition Theme Park.
Did you notice it was longer any certain time?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Oh, he's back. Look at him.
Hey, baby.
The first time when I was piloting it, there's like 2. So the pilot works where it's the left and the right pilot. Okay. And the left pilot goes left and right. The right pilot goes up and down. They're also the one that take you to hyperspace.
Oh.
So if you want to pull that little lever, you want to be the right pilot. No, I was on the left. I didn't know the difference.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that was.
Did you pilot more than once?
Yep, I did both. I've done both piloting now. There's one part of the ride. I don't know if it's because we just did. So here, this is my theory. I don't know if this holds up, but there's a part of the attraction that after you. And this is, by the way, spoilers for this entire episode. If you don't want
to know about Galaxy's Edge,
don't listen to this.
Stop listening right now.
I haven't said much yet, but this is going to be the first big spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this, I'm going to give you like 5 seconds of silence to
I haven't
go in.
But he's clearly been.
What was that noise?
Duncan.
Oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the mission is on, as of right now, there are going to be missions that come up sooner than later, hopefully, with new missions. But the mission is now you are going to Corellia, which is the planet that Han Solo grew up on, to get some coaxium, which is the thing that they were doing in the Solo: A Star Wars Story.
I just got a great question from Expedition Theme Park, our buddy Sam, for this interview.
For the pot? Oh, did you tell him you were interviewing me?
Yep. Sorry.
So you're going to get coaxium from Corellia, and there's a part in it after you get the coaxiums. We got both coaxiums. You can only get 2. And we got them fairly quickly because we were just on point.
So me and Sam were the best. Just to get 2?
You're supposed to get as many as you can, but I think we were just so good on it.
Okay.
That we got them very quickly, and then we went back to Batuu after we got the second one. There are a few things that are inevitable. Like there's one scene in the attraction where he goes, left pilot, brakes. There's no brakes. So
that's not a button?
No. So there's nothing you can do. There's part of the ride that is where you're out of control. Like you can't, this doesn't matter what you do. You get to this one point, it's like a cut scene in a game kind of. So then you like fall to this thing and then the coaxium comes out and then the ship grabs it and you go off and try to get the second thing. So after you do the second thing, you go back to Batuu. I think if you do it quickly, there's a scene where you go to the asteroid belt, because I did it 4 times, and 2 of the 4 times there weren't asteroids.
But your mission was the same all 4 times, but in the future it's going to potentially be different like Star Tours?
Yes, I think it's going to be randomized. The creepiest thing in the world is the live-action Hondo Onaka.
Okay, before you went, I know you didn't want to watch any spoilers, but I was watching them, and that was the creepiest thing.
It's super creepy.
I don't like it. Like, why couldn't they have had the animatronic and have Jim
Film
Cummings
the animatronic?
voice over it?
No, it was. It's very.
It'd be like you putting
creepy.
on a Hondo.
Where's my lid for this?
It'd be like you putting on a Hondo mask right now and just voicing it. It was terrifying.
Yeah, it's very terrifying. The lips don't sync up perfectly. Like there's obviously
He's just too big. Like if that makes.
I guess they had to do it because if you don't do it that way, then you have to program an animatronic.
Yeah.
For all these different variable things, which I get it.
But they already programmed him for that pre-show.
I don't think you understand how hard it is to do that.
I'm not that. I work in technology, but not that in depth.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do.
Not that smart.
Where's the lid for this? Do you know where this is? What happened to it? I was sitting here
on the counter.
Oh, okay.
So we should probably mention that ever since Bradley got back from Batuu, where he brought a Coke, 2 Cokes, Diet Coke, and a Sprite, and we're only allowed to drink from these bottles because, quote, Coke tastes so much better in a bottle from Batuu. Correct?
Yeah, you know how like Mickey stuff tastes better, even though it doesn't really taste better? That's the same thing. I will
say this bottle is incredibly easy to grasp.
It's easy.
Like
it fits in your hand perfectly.
Yeah.
They're great.
I mean, these are 12.5 ounces, which is
less than a 20 ounce.
A can is 12 ounce. So if you're mixing it with liquor, not that we are or anything, it's perfect for that 5 ounce liquor pour.
I would never do that.
But it's
5 ounce liquor pour.
0.5 ounce. Oh. So it's smaller than a 20 ounce bottle, but they are $4.50 each.
$5.50 each.
$5.50
and I think the water's $3.50.
So more money for less soda, but a very cool bottle.
Well, I got that question from Gabe of Theme Park, and I said, well, it's a souvenir. It's not just a bottle of soda that you're going to throw away. Thing.
Do you remember when, I don't know if you had, I don't remember if it was Polar Spring or Aquafina or who, but that did these round soda bottles when we were little. Do you remember that?
Nope. I remember the Mario cans.
Okay. So there was, when we were younger, there was kind of like an egg-shaped water bottle, but this kind of reminds me of that. So maybe any of you from the Northeast, I'm from New Jersey, would remember the little globe.
Quick question. Do you want me to tweet out that I'm getting interviewed about Galaxy's Edge and get some listener questions from the followers? All right. Ask away.
While Bradley's doing that, when you walked into the land, now I kind of know this, but what was your initial reaction? Were you overwhelmed? Yeah. Were you sad? Were you happy?
Definitely not sad. Okay, so that's not actually true. There was a little twinge of sadness.
Because it's here and it's done?
Here's how it went. You know, like when you have a thought in your brain and you go like, that's about me. I have a very hard time living in the moment.
Absolutely.
I always go like,
have to bring you to check in.
I always have to go like, we got to leave in 20 minutes. Like I always have that like, this is temporary. And I need therapy. And Disney Dan has told me that many times.
Amen.
But I had this like, I walked in and I was just like, holy crap.
In a good way, holy crap, though?
So the way it works is we went to the Hungry Bear entrance, which is the far left-hand side. The furthest left, like if you're looking at Galaxy's Edge from a map, it's the farthest left-hand side behind Hungry Bear.
Okay.
And what Disney has done with this, it's just incredible. But every time you kind of round a corner, there's this like cinematic reveal. So you walk through this little entranceway behind Hungry Bear, and there is this X-wing that's like elevated off the ground, and then there's an A-wing that's ground level. And I'm wondering if those two X-wings are going to be in that Alphabet Squadron book later.
Sorry, Hungry Bear entrance is by Rise of the Resistance.
Yes, I was getting to that.
And
so
the
these
other
are
entrances are by the Marketplace, or
so the far left one is the Hungry Bear entrance, which is by Rise of the Resistance. The middle one is by Big Thunder Mountain, which puts you right into the bazaar.
Okay.
The one on the far right puts you right next to TIE.
Where does that
his
come
TIE
in?
fighter.
Does that come in Toontown or
which one? The Fantasyland one?
The one coming in
by Kylo Ren's stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like right past Big Thunder Mountain Trail, like when you're walking up to...
Okay, so under the rocks and all of that.
Yeah, when you're walking up to like...
Sorry, for those of us that haven't been there.
What is that? The Beauty and the Beast restaurant, like that far left-hand side of Fantasyland.
The Red Rose Tavern.
Like if you walk through the castle in Fantasyland, hang a sharp left around all those buildings, it'd be on your right-hand side.
Yes.
And each... Like going forward, once this land is just fully open, you can walk in and out of any entrance. I think you're going to want to probably go either to the one. Well, God, everything. It just kind of depends on what you want to do first. Like the Rise of the Resistance, if that had been open, we would have gotten. We all would have gone there at that one exact moment. But like if you want to shop and go to like Ronto's Roasters or go to Doc Undar's, the middle one's the best. If you want to go to the Cantina, the one on the far right is the best.
Okay.
So it depends on where you want to go, which entrance will make the most sense once it's all fully open.
Okay.
What was, I don't remember what the question was. How did I feel walking in?
So
walking in, seeing those X-Wings, I was like, oh my God, it looks real. They did this. It is real. Like it doesn't look real. It is real. It's there. You walk by it and like, I just got lucky where the effect went off when I was there. And that's when I started crying. Like the X-Wing, like the fog started coming out of it. The engines turned on like they were like about to take off. And then they turn off. And I just was like, oh my God, this is real. Like, holy crap. I remember telling you, I can't believe this is a real place that I'm actually walking through right now.
I just remember you being on FaceTime and just kind of looking around being like, I'm here. Like, what?
It was trippy.
That was the craziest. You felt like you were walking to another experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you were leaving Disneyland and going to Batuu.
To the point, like when I left, this is jumping forward a little bit, when I left to get my second wristband, I called you and I was like, all right, I'll call you when I get back to Disneyland. Like, that's a true thing that I said, not trying to be funny.
I
like,
mean, have it recorded, yeah.
Like I literally was like, I'll call you when I get back to Disneyland. It felt like I was somewhere else.
So after you did your survey of the land, for lack of a better term, what was your most favorite thing, your best thing, and your worst?
Okay, which one do you want me to start with?
Whatever you would rather do.
So let's start with least favorite.
Okay.
Again, when I say least favorite, by no means is this bad.
Okay.
It is just something has to go last.
Okay.
And that something is this. And it was Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. For a few reasons. First off,
I just want to go on record that before you went, I said you didn't see Docking Bay 7, and I said it reminds me too much of Satuli.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it does. It reminds you of Satuli Canteen. Yep. Again, it's not bad, but it just, when you see that concept art where it looked kind of dirty and grimy and
it looked more grand.
Yeah, it was just themed tables, but just kind of tables throughout.
Yeah.
They only have 3 registers, which I thought was very strange.
I did like the tables that were in the storage bins, I guess.
Yeah.
The mail bins.
There's like an X-Wing one too that's pretty cool. I mean, it's, again, like I said, it's not bad. It is just happens to be my least favorite.
It kind of seemed like it looked, I haven't been a little rushed at the end. Kind of like, oh crap, we got to like just get stuff in there.
Maybe. There are some cool Easter eggs there though. So that's where if you're looking at like the land as a whole and you don't, like, you're looking at an unlabeled map.
That's where the ship was.
Yes. And the ship on the, I pointed this out when they started putting the ship in at Hollywood Studios. It says 77 and 83. When you're inside of Docking Bay 7, there's a cargo that ship is lowering down.
That's the ship that we saw. What was labeled on it?
77 and 83.
Okay, so that was something we saw from Bio Reconstruct a couple months ago.
No, that's what... Huh?
Yeah, Bio Reconstruct.
I saw this when they first installed this at Hollywood Studios, that day that the ship came in, remember?
But Bio Reconstruct has since posted.
Okay, but I said this months ago about 77 and 83.
Regardless, the ship that we've seen.
Are you asking me if that's what we're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay. I thought you meant like they said this too. I was like, well, I said it first.
No,
anyway, yes.
I'm trying to say the ship that we've seen that looks placed in.
Yes, the one that's placed
Galaxy's
on top.
Edge.
The one that's sorry. I thought you were saying something else. Yes, that is that ship, and it is lowering a crate that says 80 on it, which is, so you have the 3 years of the original trilogy when this came out: 77, 80, and 83.
Very cool.
Which is very cool. But yeah, that was probably my least favorite. So my favorite, I'm still undecided about what my favorite thing was. It's tied for me between Oga's Cantina.
Okay.
Which in and of itself was absolutely unbelievable. Like,
that's what I've heard. That's what I've seen on social media.
There are some people on there that are saying that it's not good, and those people are dumb. and I don't know what you expected.
There's one news source that's saying
don't call them a news source. They're not a news source.
Throwing drinks at you. They're rude. They're overwhelmed. It's a new land.
Hang on.
For sure, they're not throwing things at you.
Hang on. No, they're not. Like, absolutely, they're not. They would get fired.
I don't understand.
I don't. That's not ever going to happen in a Disney theme park. Like,
oh, and I mean,
it would happen once, and that person would be escorted out. Yeah, that one was shocking because I went into this going like, this place is going to be tiny. It's not tiny. In my guess, it's about the size of Nomad Lounge.
Okay, that was about my guess.
Maybe Nomad Lounge with the back room because that bar takes a pretty good piece of Nomad Lounge. Yeah. But there's seating everywhere. Like there's seating all the way around the bar and these like comfy little booths. They seat you next to people, which I don't like. I hate that when they seat you next to people you don't know. I'm not trying to make friends at Hollywood Studios or Disneyland. Or with friends. I want to hang out with those people. But it was absolutely exceeded my expectations.
Okay. Was that your by far favorite thing?
It's tied between that and Savi's Workshop. Now, here's the thing. I had, I don't want to say low expectations.
Let's be honest, we kind of shit on Savi's because...
Well, hang on. I'm going to get to that. So I had kind of low expectations for the cantina as far as size goes, and I was exceeded my expectation. I had little to no expectations about Savi's Workshop because I did shit on it a lot coming up because I was like, why would you spend $200 on a plastic lightsaber?
But you saw it at Celebration, and it truly looks like
plastic.
a plastic lightsaber.
If you go back and look at those videos from Celebration, they do look plastic, especially
100%.
Especially the ones that are like the one with the Rancor tooth on it. They look plastic. That is not the case. They are high quality, high quality.
You've had your hand on one.
I felt
a
few of them.
Excuse me?
I felt a few of. I felt a lightsaber or two in my day. No, they're high quality lightsabers. I went with Dallin of Offhand Disney, and I cannot thank him enough for everything he did this weekend. He is a patron saint.
Keep up with those stick figures, Dallin. They're my favorite. They crack me up.
I told him stop. Don't stop doing the stick figures. But Kermit's kind of replaced the stick figures.
My favorite.
Everyone, if you don't like the stick figures, you don't like Dallin. Anyway, so I don't know if it was just because I had such low expectations of that, or if it was just that good. But I mean, dang, it was that good. You have Lynn Testa.
You're paying for an experience.
You really are. And I remember being like, oh yeah, you're paying for an experience. Sure you are. No, you are. If you want to see what we're talking about, go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thedailydisneyblog and watch it because it is true. It's through my eyes. Like I filmed that. I filmed it for Dallin.
And people are saying that if you have the Black Series, like we have the Black Series lightsaber, we have the Luke Black Series,
the Luke from Return of the Jedi Black Series.
That's $150 lightsaber, but they're sturdy, they're heavy, they're metal, and
people are saying
this is a higher quality than that.
I think so.
So if you're debating it and you're like, I'm a Black Series, this is something that you can not only change the color of the blade, you can.
And we're doing spoilers on this, right?
Yes.
The story is Savi owns a scrap metal.
Yes. Tell them what happens when stormtroopers come.
I will. They get to so Savi's Workshop is like they sell scrap metal, but they're secretly this group of people called the Gatherers who go from planet to planet and grab parts of lightsabers and kyber crystals and everything else. But the First Order has landed on Batuu now, and so since the First Order is there, it has to be done in secret. If you're wearing First Order attire, they will be like, can we trust you in here, or are you going to turn us into the First Order? And when the stormtroopers come around, they do like the group that I was with, they did you're good. They did like a fake auction. So they started auctioning off fake parts that weren't there. They were like, do I have 50 credits for these parts? I don't know what they do, but do you have 50 credits for these? Do I have 50 credits for this? And we got the credits up to like 1,500 credits or something like that. And I think it was 1,000, maybe it was 1,000 credits. And till the stormtroopers went away and they're like, okay, good. We can go back to doing what we're doing. And then you go in and it is this like U-shaped bar kind of, and just the music cues and the lighting in there. And then at the very end, when you've made your lightsaber and everyone ignites them all together and they take him out, like, so such a cool thing. Once you've done your lightsaber, you put it on like this little holder thing, and then they come around and they go like, we're going to test your lightsaber, make sure it works. So they put it into place in this little, I don't know why my brain didn't realize what they were doing because I was just so into it, I guess. They put your hilt into this like,
you wouldn't think
cylinder thing. No, definitely not.
Even when I saw it, I was like,
And they put your hilt to this little thing, and they all have you guys turn your lightsabers on to make sure they work. They have them in this like encased thing, so if something happens, there's not like holes, because there's holes all throughout the room where like lightsabers have gone off and like put holes in the wall.
Okay.
So they have them in this like protective covering so that doesn't happen. And everyone turns theirs on, and then like the blade is revealed, and like the covering comes off, and everyone picks their lightsaber up, and the music swells. And then Yoda starts talking. And
that was the big moment for a lot of people.
I'm getting chills thinking about it. Look at this. Look, Yoda starts talking in the room. I literally have chills on my arm.
Why was that a big moment for people? I mean, let's be clear.
Because
I'm not a
Yoda.
huge...
And he's talking about the importance of the Force and like what a lightsaber means to a Jedi.
Okay.
Granted, you're not a Jedi in this story, but you have reverence to it. You are respecting what the Jedi have done and the legacy of a Jedi,
okay.
And you're continuing on that legacy by making a lightsaber. There are some weird like little well, I guess the thing it would be, and this is what I was talking about when I was on to Matt, is like there's a few like story things that kind of don't really flow, but then if you just say, well,
like what?
So a red kyber crystal means that you have bled that kyber crystal.
That's Sith, correct?
Sith. So it says it means you've put all your hate and anger and frustration into that kyber crystal, and you've made it turn red. I guess the story would be like they found that kyber crystal in another lightsaber, which is how it's red already.
Explain how kyber crystals work, because I didn't know this.
Kyber crystals are what power a lightsaber, but it's also what they were using to power
So if I was
the Death Star.
If I was good, I would potentially bleed a blue or green or
no.
purple?
It only works with red lightsabers. To bleed a red lightsaber, so to make the kyber crystal red.
Okay.
Because there's just other colors of kyber crystal.
Okay.
But it just specifically Sith lightsabers have to be bled.
Bleed red, one color. Okay.
But they could just say they found that kyber crystal already red.
Okay.
So that's kind of a workaround for the story. My favorite lightsaber is probably the one that Dallin made. It's really cool. It's like an older color. Well, not the blade color itself. The hilt was really cool. He did a good job making his own. The whole experience is about 15 minutes long, depending on how long people take to make up the lightsaber, but it's about 15 minutes. But that'll like depend on how quickly people get in, people assemble the pieces.
Can you kind of dilly-dally in there if you wanted to?
Can you kind of what?
Can you dilly-dally in there if you wanted to?
I don't know. I think they were
kind of keep you as a group.
They were keeping you as a group. I mean, like one of the things I think they did brilliantly was at the end of the experience, everybody's ready to go. Like, not in a I'm over this way, but like everyone's amped up, like, all right, now go to Black Spire. So one of the cool things at the end of this, you'll see people walking around with like these cases that look like, if you've ever been to a convention, like poster cases.
Those are the ones that kind of sling across the chest? Okay.
And the reason they do that in the story is so you don't take your lightsaber out, so the First Order doesn't know that somewhere on Batuu
so
they're building hidden. They're building lightsabers.
That's the story.
Yeah,
so there's even a story behind the case.
Yes.
How cool is that?
It's amazing.
So thinking about that, what was
hang on. Let me caveat this one thing. Over at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, you can, if you're indecisive about your lightsaber color, you can go buy kyber crystals that will change your color of your blade.
So like if I wanted it blue today and then green tomorrow.
So theoretically for like
only an extra $12, right?
So there's white, red, purple, blue, green. White, red, purple, blue, green. I think that's the only colors they have. So for like $60, you could have a lightsaber that has any color to it whatsoever.
Right.
So like probably like $70 because it's 6 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. So yeah, roughly that you could have any color lightsaber your heart could want. And you can change those characters out very easily. Yeah, it's really cool.
Because like today I feel blue and tomorrow I might feel green.
Yeah, or like if you're doing a character, like if you make a character, like it's a lot of people do conventions as their own Jedi. If you turn to the dark, then you can kind of do your own blade color. It's a really cool, customizable way to do a lightsaber that has never been done before.
I like that.
I do too. It's really cool.
So kind of stepping away from Sabi's, what overall in the land was the coolest Easter egg you noticed? And I know you took in like the Mandalorian. You saw a couple different things. What was the coolest one you saw?
Oh man,
you didn't get to see the Indiana Jones.
No, I heard about it though. I don't think that would, even if I saw it, I don't think that would be the coolest one.
Okay. What kind of was like, whoa, they put that here?
My favorite was probably seeing IG-88 and Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
Where was he in there?
If you're looking at the lightsaber case, if you turn around like to your right above the register that's there, he's like up above you, and it's like he's in full body's there. And I believe there might be another IG droid over in the droid depot, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't remember if I'm remembering that wrong or not. But that's probably my favorite. That was really cool.
So seeing IG-88,
Yeah.
I'm
bummed out there's no R5 in the land.
There's no, I thought he was in the droid builder shop.
Nope.
In the concept art he is,
In
correct?
the concept art, he's not in the actual shop.
So kind of keeping yourself in the shops. If you had unlimited funds, what would be the 3 items you would buy? I'm talking like you could buy the $25,000 R5.
I just hit the lotto. I won $1 billion. I can buy whatever I want.
You can buy 3 things.
A lightsaber from Savi's.
Okay.
I would probably buy one of each. One of each type. I'd build one of each type. So I'm counting that as one. I don't get, because there's 4 different types, but I'm using some of that money at Savi's for all of the lightsabers.
Okay.
That's one thing. The other thing I would buy, it's not that expensive, but I would buy.
It doesn't matter.
I would buy Vader's lightsaber hilt.
The one in the case.
Because it comes with that cool,
you want that damn case.
That case. I want the case more than I want the lightsaber.
Okay, so let's fast forward 3 months down the road. We're at Hollywood Studios. Galaxy's Edge is open. We're past the reservations. Yada, yada, yada. You can buy your 3 items. The one hilt you buy is Vader's. Who cares? They're all the same price. Like not an option at this point.
For the record, they're not all the same price, but just in this hypothetically
in
speaking,
this theory, yes.
Yeah, I think
Vader's. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know, Vader is my favorite.
Yeah, I think it's
Star Wars
just
character,
the most recognizable one.
Okay.
So like if we had it on display and someone would go, "Oh, that's Vader's lightsaber."
So if it was like, here's Vader, here's Maul, here's Ahsoka, here's Luke and Rey,
The
and
Maul one would be cool too.
they're all the same cost. What do you want?
I might have to go Maul, but it's
Because he's double-edged?
But it's half.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's half because they just wanted to make it fit in that case with the other lightsabers,
Yeah.
or if it is the canon reason why it's half because it got cut in half by Obi-Wan and Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So I don't
So
know
your
if there's a
dream-
reason.
Your 3 dream items. Go back to that.
So Savi,
Okay.
a lightsaber hilt, probably Vader.
Savi with just all the kyber
all-
crystals. Okay.
Savi with one of each different, make your own lightsaber. 'Cause
Okay.
There's the 4 categories.
Okay.
One from each category. I'm actually going to change my answer to Anakin's lightsaber, Rey's lightsaber.
Okay.
Because I love that hilt. It's classic. It's the first lightsaber you see in Star Wars.
Does it bother you they're the same?
No.
One and the same. I know
No.
you get so angry when we watch the movies. You're like, that's Anakin's. Oh, no, that's Leia's. That's Anakin.
I think what they could do very easily now with Episode 9, it wouldn't make sense in the story, but if you're just going to shoehorn this in, I don't think anyone would get that upset. You could make Rey's lightsaber from Episode 9, which just has that like little black piece of metal on it, and you could sell 2 different lightsabers.
Yeah.
You could. I mean,
that's in theory, that's what Star Wars is doing. They're like, yeah, that's Anakin's, but now it's Rey's.
That's Rey's. Yeah.
So.
And then my last thing. See, I don't have like crazy expensive taste.
I know. I've got a few more questions for you.
I think I would probably buy a full set of Jedi robes, just top to bottom, everything to be.
I thought you were going to say a full set of those dolls.
Yeah, but those are like $20. It's like if I'm trying to think of things
That's like
that are
if you
more
have
expensive.
a budget kind of thing. Okay.
A full set of Jedi robes. So either I'd go full Sith or full Jedi, but I'd buy a full set of robes.
Do you see a lot of people buying those robes? Because I don't foresee it taking on like the Harry Potter robes.
I think it will here.
Whereas Harry Potter is like we have Universal passes. We're there a good bit. We're there a couple of times a month, and you see it. A lot of people in those robes for 95 degrees outside.
I think it'll be a thing here more than it will be there because you're going to have the tourists here that are going to want to live Star Wars and feel like they're in Star
Whereas
Wars.
Disneyland is, hey, I live here. I don't need a
I'm
robe.
not dressing up in a robe to go to Disneyland.
Okay. So for
Could be wrong.
those locals at Disneyland, what would you like see added down the road to Galaxy's Edge? What do you feel like is missing?
Me? Yes, me? Oh, a full sit-down restaurant.
Why do you think they got rid of that?
Budget.
Not enough time?
Budget, and I think it's...
do you think we'll see that down the road?
Yeah. Yep. I think you will. I think they may have not played it safe necessarily, but I think they were kind of like, let's see what happens with
let's not rush ourselves.
Yeah, let's see what we have here, and let's not put all of our cards on the table off the jump, and let's see if this is as successful as we think it's going to be. Because here's the thing. Businesses can assume something, like with Solo. They thought this is going to make $1 billion. It made 84 million domestic. Like, nothing is foolproof, even Star Wars, you know? Okay. So I think they may have wanted to play it on the safer side and just been like, maybe down the road you can do what Toy Story Land did and announce a table service restaurant. And I think you will see that eventually because you're going to have that place to put people.
Okay. Would you like to see a sit-down character dining or just a kind of a sit-down, I'm at the cantina, it's casual dining?
I would like the original concept of sitting down and seeing like a show. But I don't need character dining. I don't want Boba Fett.
You don't need Vader going, how's your meal?
How's your meal?
Kylo Ren being like, is your steak well done?
Most impressive.
Okay. Well, piggybacking off that, if anything in the land, think about it overall, would you change anything they did? Would you swap out Docking Bay 7 for a sit down? Like what? Would you change any of it?
No, because I wouldn't change Docking Bay 7 because I think you need that idea.
Kind of casual.
Quick in, quick out, casual dining.
Okay.
I would, one thing I think they could really do would be add a few more things to the creature stall.
Or the creature stall, is that
not
where
the creature stall necessarily. I'm talking about like the bazaar.
Is that where we find Salacious Crumb species on
No, actually, he's around the corner.
So he's not creature stall. What is in the creature stall?
The Loth Cats, like plushes of Tauntauns, the Rathtars, those little characters.
Okay.
The Salacious Crumb is around the corner on the left-hand side. Oh, yeah, you're good. Yeah, I think that would be a good improvement. And I think one thing I would add would be more stormtroopers in the land.
I feel like there was 2 kind of steadily, and there could have been more, and they kind of stayed with Kylo. Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll see the characters roaming here at Hollywood Studios? I know Disneyland has kind of kept Mickey and Pluto and Minnie roaming around the lands. Even Alice, I saw Peter Pan last time I was there. Whereas here, it's like, okay, Peter meets here, Mickey meets here.
Get in line. Mm-hmm. I think so. I think because it adds to feeling like you're in Star Wars.
It just makes it more immersive.
It's more of a show than it is like a character interaction. Like I don't like talking to characters because I feel awkward.
Especially face characters. You are like,
I hate it.
Anytime we do character meals, you're like,
I'm a super nice guy, but like when it comes to interacting with characters, it's just awkward for me. Like it wasn't awkward. Like I had my second okay, I always have to caveat this because the Darkwing Duck experience is my favorite one. But other than the Darkwing Duck experience, I had the best character experience I ever had with Chewbacca. I was walking
Chewie in Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, I was walking through, I think I was leaving, and I had on my Kylo Ren backpack, and I see Chewie, I'm like, hey Chewie, what's up? And I give him a high five, and I walk about 3 steps, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Chewie, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he's looking at me like, really?
He just kind of seeked you out.
Yeah. And I was like, what's wrong? And the guy who was with me was like, he goes, whoa, and he goes, he doesn't like your backpack. And the whole time he's doing this, he's holding onto my shoulder.
You have that Kylo backpack.
Yes. He's holding onto my shoulder and he's staring at me in the eyes. And I was like, Chewie, it's okay. Dude, I'm with the Resistance. I have a backpack. I'm undercover. I'm playing like double agent. And Chewie just kind of looked at me like, you expect me to believe that, idiot?
Yeah.
And then walked away. And then we kind of hung around for a little bit. And then he ended up walking over to the X-Wing and started fixing the X-Wing.
You and Chewie?
Chewie did, but his buddy was on stage with him. And they're like, does anyone have any experience with X-Wings? And I was like, you have to have the compressor bypass the hyperdrive.
You said that to Chewie?
Yeah. And then he's like, brr, and then he fixed it, and then like the X-Wing started starting up after I said that. So that was really cool.
He was a little starstruck.
It was awesome. And then like I walked up to Rey and I was like, so what are you guys doing here on Batuu?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, after the First Order destroyed our base on Crate, we had to find a new We were looking for places. We're scouting places for a new resistance base, and I was like it was canon. Like for me as a Star Wars dork, I was like, there we go. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, that's why they're here. And one thing I thought was really cool is when you first walk in. Obviously, Rise of the Resistance is not open, but there's the unfortunately, there is audio stuff from the queue that is still going on, and you can hear them like setting up, and you hear engines revving in the background. Like, and the cast members are like, "Sorry, they landed last night. They're not quite ready yet."
So that side note kind of ties into Expedition Everest. Sam wanted me to ask you.
Hang on. Save all listener questions for the end of the show.
Okay.
I'll tell you that we'll do that with.
Sorry, Sam. Stand by.
What else you got for me other than listener questions?
So if you could go back to Batuu tomorrow, you don't have me with you. It's just you. You've been in the land. What would be the first thing you run to?
Ooh.
I know these are pretty good, right?
These are good questions. Gosh. Is it my first time again? Or is it I'm going back again? No, it's like
you're going back for the second time. Are you running to the cantina? Are you running to Creature Stall? Are you running Falcon?
Not Falcon.
Okay.
Only because I did it 4 times. It's a tie between... Nope, it's not a tie. 100% after thinking about it more. Savi's Workshop.
You run and go make your saber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So say you ran to the Falcon and you've done it 4 times. So what is the best position on the Falcon? Do not take that incorrect. Don't take that wrong. Best position on the Falcon.
So I have 2 answers. I have one answer is what is the best
You could ride it once now after your 4 times. Last time forever.
Let me put it this way. I'm going to say this and I'll give my answer.
Okay.
The best ride experience as far as like having fun on the ride.
Yes.
And like an overall, like that was awesome is 100% the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
The best view of the attraction from like watching it all go down is the engineer.
Okay.
So it would depend on my mood if I wanted to watch what was happening. You're still a part of it, but like watch what was happening more or like be in what's happening more. Because as the pilot, you're on nonstop. Engineer is just times where you don't have to do anything. You can kind of watch what's going on. And then when your buttons light up, you hit those buttons and continue.
Okay.
So for me, it would be 100% pilot the Falcon. Like
left to right.
Right. Because getting to pull that lever and go jump to hyperspace is one of the coolest things ever.
I know you know the difference between all of that. Once again, I have not been.
Yet. Next week, we're going to go.
TBD. Correct.
We got to, look at me. We have got to find a way to go.
Go fund me. You're going to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh my God. I might have to ask Kurt for some research trip money.
You boy. So last time you'd want to be that front left pilot, okay?
No, right pilot.
Okay. Now can I bring a listener question?
Do you have any more questions for me?
Just listener questions.
That's it? That was all your questions?
That was it. Those are pretty good, right?
You did a good job.
I know. I was thinking about we have this weird thing where we're on like the same wavelength with Brain. Yesterday I was thinking about this all day, and then Brad comes home today and goes, "You should interview me." I was like, I have 6 questions ready.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up this.
What about it?
What about it? What is it?
So I saw on Twitter that they were doing a metal gift card, and I'm really into metal because I have a metal credit card, and
Me too.
And so does Brad, and we think it's cool because people are always like, "Oh, look at this credit card!" So
we're special. No, we're not.
Even though it's not anything fancy, we're not bougie. And Galaxy's Edge has this this metal gift card that, what do they call it? Savi.
It's called a Batuu Spira, and it is the ancient currency on Batuu. It's supposed like let's pretend Earth was a theme park and you landed on Earth and you landed in New York City. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you could buy this gift card that's shaped like an American dollar.
Here you go.
It's that version of this.
But it's not
Batuu,
that.
and it's metal. So listen to this. This is how hefty this thing is. I'm dropping it from, about 3 inches off the table?
Oh, yeah. It's like dropping a $50.
I think it's heavier than that.
Yeah.
Probably $2 half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool. And these are good anywhere. Inside Disney, you can use it anywhere. You can use a gift card, but they are currently sold out, and they are on eBay for hundreds of dollars.
But anyway,
this one ain't going anywhere.
So, but anyway, back to our listener question that I have from Sam. Expedition Everest.
Okay. I have some listener
I always say
questions,
Expedition Everest, and it's
she's having a
Expedition
stroke.
Theme Park, and we love every one of your videos, Sam, and we watch all of them.
And he's a dear friend.
And you love Mrs. Knott's chicken, so that makes me love you even more. So he says, if Rise of the Resistance was open, would you have been able to resist like you promised me?
Nope.
Or would you have...
Oh, like I promised you? Yes, I would have been able to resist.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have.
Okay.
It would have been really hard. And we would be going back next week 100% if Rise of Resistance had been open. I'm like, we're going now. Like, and that's the first thing we're going to, 100%. Like, if I didn't get to go, I would be forcing you to book a flight. And
For June 7th.
We would spend $1,000 to get there, and we would ride Rise of Resistance. I'm not kidding.
Oh, my gosh. We might be there next week. Still stand by.
Oh, my God.
And then Arrival
Please.
Fallacy looks like your friend that you've met the May the 4th band.
Oh, it's Lewis.
Yeah,
Lewis. I've known him before that.
All right. Lewis asked,
my
did you
buddy.
get me an Endor mug?
I did not.
He didn't
because
get me an Endor mug, Lewis, so don't be too upset. I asked
Here's the
as
thing.
well.
I went as cheap as humanly possible because
There's a reason I didn't let them bring a bag.
I was there for a day. Literally, like my flight got delayed. I was in LA for like 40 hours. And I knew if I had a bag that I could put things in, I would fill that thing up. So I just brought a backpack with some clothes in it, and I packed everything barely. I had to throw away all my toiletries because I had no room. I literally had that little room to bring back stuff. So if you saw on Twitter the merchandise haul that I did, you will see I didn't buy a ton of stuff, but I didn't have a way to bring stuff back. I probably could have brought back a lightsaber hilt because it would just sat on the top of my stuff, but it would have been in the case, and it was just all the stuff is pretty big. Like, I'm not sure how Dallin got that lightsaber home.
No,
it didn't fit in his luggage. We were back in the room, and he's like, I don't know how this is gonna fit. I don't know how we ended up getting it to fit.
I wonder if it was a carry-on or what.
I don't know. I think it might count, especially if it's in the case. I'm sure. I don't know, but once this land opens up, here we're gonna go hard in the paint, and I'm gonna get everything I wanted to get there but didn't get.
But we can throw in the back of your Jeep and go.
Exactly, and that was another reason too. Like, just the simplicity of like, it's gonna be there in a few weeks.
Exactly.
There's no reason to rush for it now, but I don't know. I didn't grab too much stuff.
So, all right. Disney fanatic asked, how do the lightsabers work? We were trying to figure that earlier today with the kyber crystals.
I don't know. I think there's probably like a RFID chip in there. That would be my guess because that's what Disney loves. They love that RFID technology. It would make sense that that's why each one has it. But like, I think it's very interesting that each kyber crystal emits a different color. Like, how does it know what color to emit to the blade with just the kyber crystal?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yep. And then Mr. Bojangles, love the name. Oh, Mr. Bojangles.
I love
asked,
Bojangles.
why no Watto? They did have a Watto of the doll of Lando and Chewie that we got.
Oh, they mean like in the land? Why is there no Watto? Like at the Toydarian toy store?
Yeah.
There is a screen like next to the stairs that shows a Toydarian, but I'm pretty sure that Watto got killed, and that's canon. So, are you looking that up? If Watto's dead in Star Wars? Let me see if I can find that. Is Watto dead in Star Wars?
So while you're looking that up, Colin the Eighth Dwarf wants to know, what do I wear in inclement weather?
To Galaxy's Edge?
Yes.
What do you wear in inclement weather? I guess you would wear a Jedi robe.
That's a good question.
That's a good, sure.
Well, Max Iron Bantha wants to know, do you feel like there's something that could realistically be done to make the land more immersive than it already is?
No. One of the things that I don't think there's anything they could do.
Don't you think those lightsabers could have been better?
Which ones?
Remember how they talked about on the panels at Galactic Nights that they were going to have those interactive go through the land lightsabers?
I think that would make it less immersive. If you had like interactive lightsabers where you could like use the Force, why are you using the Force? You're not a Jedi. You're not Force sensitive. So I feel like that would be.
So are you glad they didn't do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I am. I think one thing I would really would like is I didn't do too much with the Disney Play app because I was like not looking at my phone. I was looking around at the land and trying to take it all in. Because like I said, we can see the Tower of Terror from the kids' room. Like we live that close to Hollywood
live
Studios.
around the corner from Disney World.
I'm going to be there a lot, and that's going to be something that I really dive into while I'm on this coast. But I don't think they could have done anything to make it more immersive. I mean, like I truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, my fiber of my being, believe that this land is damn near perfect.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So if they left this like this for the next 10 years, you'd be okay with that?
I do have some concerns about the longevity of Savi's, but it's not. But here's the thing: you're talking about being immersed versus the longevity of being immersed. That's two different stories.
Okay.
Did I say the wrong word? Did I say longevity?
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few spice Cokes, so let's just be clear about that.
Just Cokes.
I just wonder, especially for California, here it will be no problem because you're going to have new tourists every single day.
Right.
Is Savi's workshop going to work long-term at Disneyland? To experience this one thing at Star Wars, you have to have a $200 lightsaber. That $200 lightsaber is 100% worth it. But every time you go to Disneyland, are you going to drop $200 to experience that?
Okay, at Disneyland, I don't see it. Here, we have enough turnover.
That's what I just said.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's what I just said. Here, you're going to have tourists every single day that come in. That's going to be new people who haven't been here. Yes, you're going to have no problem doing it here. Disneyland is the one I'm concerned about.
What do you think they could do to change it up at Disneyland?
But here's the thing. It's only 15 people at a time. And they do shows quickly, I'm sure, back to back to back. But like in a 12-hour period, if every set is 15 minutes between, how many people are you realistically doing a day? Like 2,000 people a day? That seems way too high.
So a local,
it's probably like 500, right?
Like a locals park, what would you do to spice it up?
I don't know. Changing the ride on the Falcon from time to time, making it more like Star Tours, so it's randomized when you hop on. You don't know where you're going or what your mission's going to be. I think that'd be a good way to change things up a little bit.
Okay. What about here? Do you think we'll see any exhaustion of the land?
I don't know.
I feel like for you and I, we'll go the first time, we'll look around. We'll go the second time with the kids. We'll build a droid. We'll go another time, we'll build a saber. We'll go another time, we'll play with the app. Like there's enough interactive.
I will never get sick of going into Star Wars. Like that's never going to be a thing.
They never changed a thing.
No, like do I want to be there every single second of every single day? No.
We live at Hollywood Studios.
But I don't want to be at Magic Kingdom every single second of every single day either. Right. You know, it's all about your own personal.
It's also one thing that brought us together. We both
love studios.
Love Hollywood Studios.
I don't want to be there every single second of every day. Like even though it's my favorite park,
even when Star Wars
I don't want to be there. Yeah, I'm not going to want to go. I will be there every single day for a month.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but I don't think for me, and I think most Star Wars fans, you're going to get tired of.
When do you think we'll see it calm down at studios? Think about it. It's opening August 29th. Florida kids are back in school by that point.
I don't think you're going to see it.
Everywhere else is back in school after Labor Day. Do you think we'll see it calm down mid-September?
No. You're not going to see it calm down for about 5 years here.
You're going to see locals?
You're not going to see it calm down in any aspect for about 5 years here.
Do you hope that Disney World follows Disneyland in the reservation?
Yes.
Are you saying that because we have a reservation?
No, I'm saying that because while you're there, even for a short period of time, if they do it like Disneyland did for a month,
okay.
Even if we, for whatever reason, we don't get a reservation, for the people who are going, it is going to make them fall in love with this land.
Do you think you are a Star Wars fanatic, that's taking it lightly. Do you think me as someone that's casual, whereas you and I both are casual Harry Potter fan, we tried to watch online movies. We watched online, but we weren't like, oh my God, this is the greatest franchise ever.
I haven't seen the end.
We didn't see it?
Nope.
Okay. The only Harry Potter I've seen is with you. Do you think someone of that level of Star Wars, which I will say I like Star Wars better than Harry Potter, is going to enjoy this land?
Well, I will answer your question with a tweet from our buddy Sam at Expedition Theme Park.
He's just focusing on our show here.
He is a very casual Star Wars fan.
He's about my level?
Yes, maybe a little less.
So for those of you that don't know, I was not really Star Wars until I met Bradley. And then I met you, right after Force Awakens opened? I met you right before it. And then the first movie we saw in theaters together was Force Awakens. And from that point on, I was like, this is awesome. But I'm a new Star Wars fan. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I like the new franchise. I love Force Awakens. You're quick to say it's not the best film, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, Force Awakens. I'm like,
it's high up there for me.
I love Force Awakens. I'm quick to jump and say, let's watch Force Awakens. You're like, let's watch Last Jedi. So that's kind of where I am as far as Star Wars.
So here's what Sam had to say as someone who's about your level and knows it tertiarily.
And likes Mrs. Notch.
And likes. He says, and this was a tweet from opening day. He said, my first trip to Batuu is complete and I have nothing but good things to say. The highlight was the cantina, and once Rise of the Resistance opens, it will be the best theme park land for sure. Thanks for the amazing, I guess he finished the tweet on Instagram. But that's his thoughts. It's the best theme park land for sure.
That's what Sam said.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam is about my level.
Let me pull up what TPM Vid said. Don't say his name.
TPM Vids, who's also a sweetheart.
Oh, he's the best. You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he says.
Keep in mind that Brad went with all casual fans. He went with about my level, right?
I was the one. Yeah, I was the one who they were like, "Hey, what does this mean?" I've had several people ask me like, "Hey, can you help me with my video so I'm getting things correct?" TP Vid said, "Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is truly amazing!" Exclamation point. Disney outdid themselves with this highly immersive land, and everything ran so smoothly on opening day. So yes, and I actually took this picture. So there you go. Look at that picture. I took that picture.
Is that TPM?
Yes.
Yep. So kind of like Brad and I are not huge Harry Potter fans. We love the land. That's what I'm anticipating with Star Wars.
Let me answer your question by saying the statement that I've said 1,000 times before.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if you love or dislike the property.
You even told my mom that earlier on the phone today.
I don't care about Cars Land. I asked her, like, do you care about Cars? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
But you love Cars Land, right?
My mom was overwhelmed with Cars Land.
Absolutely. You could have never seen a Star Wars film. You are going to love this. It is hands down the greatest theme park experience I've ever had.
I can't wait.
Next week.
Less than
5 days?
2.5 months.
Oh, that should be 5 days.
Our reservations in 4 days. We might be there.
Are you reading the questions that I sent out?
Mm-hmm.
You read the ones that I tweeted out too when I asked people?
Yeah.
Someone asked, do I like dinosaurs?
Yeah, that was the same
Oh, so you are reading mine. Okay. Some of these don't apply to Galaxy's Edge. I'm taking Galaxy's Edge questions this time. Happily Evan After said, any possible collabs for the opening at Walt Disney World? Yeah, man. If you want to hit me up and we're there, I will absolutely.
Regardless of whether it's reservations or not, we've prepared in regards to annual passes, dining reservations. We will be there.
Yeah, there's no way that I
Mama
won't be there.
Melrose is one of our absolute favorite restaurants on property. We will be eating there that day.
I thought about this the day I walked into Galaxy's Edge. I was like, if they expanded this into Muppets Courtyard, as much as I love the Muppets and the Hollywood Studios, no.
But I love Muppets. You know how much I love Kermit.
You know how much I love the Muppets too.
But I want to meet Tiny Tim.
I don't think I've ever gone to studios and not done Muppet Vision.
I want to meet Tiny Tim. I'm a huge Tiny Tim fan.
I wish I had something to give away from Galaxy's Edge. However, they were being very strict with the one map per person.
We kind of do, but
I'm not giving that away.
Come August, we'll have some stuff to give away.
I will do a big giveaway for August.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Go on YouTube. Oh, this is about to get real. Go on YouTube. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers
by August
29th for
Yes.
opening day of Galaxy's Edge. I will pick one of my subscribers at random,
We'll
and
give away
I
a
will
lot
give
of
you.
a shirt.
I'll do what Dallin did. I will give you a surprise.
Okay.
I will let you pick something within reason.
We'll Periscope what you want to win.
Yes, I'll private FaceTime you from Galaxy's Edge, and I will let you pick out something
Within reason.
under $100.
Not a lightsaber that we're going to build for you.
Under
Something we
$100.
can send in a box.
Something under $100, I will send to you. If we can do that, that will absolutely happen.
So that's 200 subscribers by August
250
29th.
subscribers.
We could
by
do
August
this.
29th. It's not us. It's these guys got to do it. Share,
Yep.
follow, retweet. It's gonna be. Man, I really want to go back. Like if I would seriously apply for a credit card to go that question. What? That question about what I'm thinking?
No.
Oh.
Help us to 1,000 by August 29th, and we will do a kick-ass giveaway.
Yes, we will. I'm not
your
kidding.
liking.
If I had
We're saving up until August 29th right now. We've got our hotel room paid off. We are.
Annual passes are paid off.
Yes, we're ready.
If I could apply, I would apply for a credit card and go into debt to go back for 4 more hours on Batuu.
Really?
Oh, God, it's so amazing. It's so incredible. All right.
We'll be in Disneyland this fall, sometimes after August, because there's a couple fall things we want to do at Knott's Berry Farm.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do Mickey's Halloween party at Disneyland. There's a couple. We'll be in California this fall, 100%. But we just need to get to that starting point for Galaxy's Edge here at Walt Disney World.
All right. Guess that's it. You're the one in charge of this episode, so let's take us home.
Let's do it. Let's wrap it up. Anything else you want to add?
Yes. One thing I wanted to bring up was how immersive. We're talking about how immersive the land is. I wanted to talk about how the sounds in the land. I was worried when I heard they were doing the Galaxy's Edge score that plays in a few places. It plays on the Falcon. It plays in Savi's workshop at the end. That theme plays in certain spots, but the land itself doesn't really have audio or music. It has audio. And like one of the cues is like a TIE fighter goes off above your head, and it's so realistic sounding.
You said you were like ducking.
That people look up, like like you know, like when you hear a plane fly by, and it's like, shoo, everyone kind of looks up. They were doing that with the sounds in Galaxy's Edge, and I was talking to Dallin about it, and about 2 minutes later, that sound happens, and he looks up, and I was like, "See, told you. That's how real it is. It's unbelievable, man. 10 out of 10." Would recommend.
Is he going to be here at Disney World's opening?
He's
trying, depending on his girlfriend.
I think he's gonna try. I hope
We'll
so.
be here if you're listening, and you're going to be here in August.
Hit us up.
Come find us. We
We're gonna
live
be
5
partying at
miles
Cantina.
from Hollywood Studios. You're about to live 5 miles from Star Wars.
I can't believe it. It's insane. I just wish it was happening sooner.
That's 10 weeks, 11 weeks.
It was such a tease. But to be real, I can't tell you the last time I spent that much time in a theme park. I was there from 7 a.m. until midnight.
We're almost there, baby.
Oh, God. All right.
All right. Good night.
Is that how you wrap up the show?
Yeah.
We're
there.
You're not going to talk about where to find us on
Twitter? You
Twitter?
can find me on
Jesus
Twitter.
Christ.
Just don't harass me like a certain person at Hollywood with 3 L's, 13, Hollywood 13. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Views with Hughes, and please rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button over on YouTube.
Ring that bell, as Dallin would say.
Ring my
bell.
Ring that bell. I will see you guys later on this week with another
Thanks for
show.
listening.
Getting back to normal, not Star Wars focused content as much until we get that full trailer for Rise of Skywalker.
So close.
This is the last thing I'm going to talk about for a while for Galaxy's Edge until somebody asks me else to come on their show.
Because it's open.
I know.
You can come on my show anytime, a.k.a. your show.
Thanks. You can come to your show anytime.
And talk about it anytime you want. I just want that Ronto wrap.
I will see you guys next week at Disneyland. Have a great
Au
one.
revoir.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. Thank you for downloading. I will see you guys next time. But before we leave, Don't forget, follow me on Twitter and Periscope and Instagram at Views with Hughes, and rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.